I literally queued up the right intro before I went to go get a cigarette, and that pops up.
You know what? It's whatever.
We'll roll with it.
We'll roll with it. I mean, dude, ladies and gentlemen, it's not what the hell. It's Nerd Sports. So, hi, everybody. This is episode 222. Deuce is running fucking wild tonight, which is great. We actually have content for you tonight. So, that's something to look forward to. I know
You're as shocked as you are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at the news and I'm like, okay, I need to prep for tonight. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to talk about. And then literally within 30 seconds of us coming on live tonight, our esteemed producer, David Dickerman, goes, oh, I was pulling up X thinking nothing's going to pop up. And then he talks about the first thing that he saw trending. And it nearly brought the show to a screeching halt before we even started tonight. And yeah, but we're going to get into that later. We are going to get into it. But hi, everybody. Again.
Hi. Hey.
Hi.
Yeah. I mean, Colin, say hi.
Hello.
Okay. Oh, my God. I got to help him with his Maria's here. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's what you love to see it.
My mic is fine.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sure.
You do you, boo-boo. All right. Well, I mean, we've already had our major malfunction of the mission, so it's all uphill from here, right?
Yeah.
That or sideways, which, yeah. Who knew Rock Bottom had a basement? It's at this point of the evening that we're going to turn things over, albeit very briefly, to our esteemed producer, David Dickerman, for this week's Weird Sport. David.
This week's Weird Sport is brought to you by yeah, not even gonna try to attempt that.
I dare you to try to pronounce
Amazon, Malahakaba. No.
Malakhabam.
No, Ham. Malakham. Oh, there we go. Oh, I had it. Malakham. Yes, I sent this to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, what's up?
You sent me this like a couple of weeks ago, and I've lost it. No, it's.
I saw this once when I went to Vegas. Although she didn't do that.
I was about to say,
They were
yeah,
dressed about the same though.
Expert pole dancing.
And this is like a complete this is like a sport in India. I'm sitting there going, oh, okay.
Ow, that okay.
Like my 47-year-old ass, dude. And I'm sitting here like that hurts me just looking at this dude.
What the
I mean, most men want.
whoa!
Ooh. My butt puckered on that one.
Can you imagine the splinters they're getting from that?
No, they file it down.
There's no amount of sanding that will ever take away all.
I mean, unless they put
they
put them on like huge lathes, and then because like with major league caliber bats, right?
Bro.
Major league certified bats. Hold on, let me finish. When they spin, they turn them on a lathe, right? But they either harden them with bone or deer antler, like teeter bats out there up there in Wichita.
Yeah.
When they harden their bats, they harden with deer antler, so that way the bats are more durable. So and then obviously you don't get the splinters. So I wonder if they're doing that.
Probably,
man. That I'm just saying the potential for disaster.
Yeah, that's
pretty high.
Yeah, some of your kids.
I mean, the attrition rate on that job has got to be like, I don't know, astronomical.
I'm just saying you're putting a lot of trust in your carpenter. just saying.
Is it safe to say these guys don't skip leg day? I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh, you messed up this month there. You run 15 miles. Yes, coach. No, I mean, then they take off.
Well, it's that or, they're put to death.
I mean, how do you measure like a bad performance? I mean, do you wait to get just bitch slapped by a 13 arm goddess and Shiva afterward? I don't know. What's going on there? Yeah.
So baseball news.
Yeah. Brain just completely went. "Bah."
I saw the little squirrel trying to get that nut, and it was missing every time.
Dude, it was like
And
was it
David
Scratch from Ice Age? Like,
And
the squirrel.
if anybody knows anything, it's David knows how to get a nut.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so baseball news. Yeah. Yeah, it's good times. We had a Hall of Fame induction ceremony yesterday, actually, up in Cooperstown, New York. As soon as I can get the page to load, thank you very much. Blazing fast internet speeds. Thank you, AT&T Fiber, for bringing me my nearly 1 gig speeds, even though I'm paying for it. Let me see here. The byline is Brian Taggart or Mick Taggart and Dan Chikalski, both of them on MLB.com. Cooperstown, New York. Billy Wagner pitched 853 major league games in his career without starting a single one. Yeah, he's a relief pitcher. Get that, right? On Sunday, he opened the National Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which he, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, Dick Allen, and Dave Parker were enshrined for eternity. Forever. Right? Get up close, like, the Sandlot. Forever. There we go. All right. Everybody wanted that spot, he said afterward with a grin, but I waited the longest. It was good to get that out of the way. I think the longer I waited, the more emotional I would probably have gotten. So I think they said, let's get that guy off the stage as quickly as possible. Just as he did coming from a small rural Virginia town in a Division III college as a 5'10" 10-inch pitcher to forge a Hall of Fame career, Wagner bucked expectations on the stage. He said, quote, "They kept shooting the over under on me." Wagner said of the players he coaches and his family in the audience, many of whom were trying to predict how many times he would break down during the speech. His high school kids are out there. He said, and I'm seeing 5 breakdowns. And then I said, then my own kids are sitting there saying, we got you at 3. So, I held it together long enough that they all lost. Like, okay.
Good for him.
Right. Had Astros relievers John Hudak and Todd Jones not gotten injured in the 90s, Wagner may have never had the chance to blow 100-mile-an-hour fastballs past hitters for 16 seasons. We might never have seen him enter the field in the 9th inning to Metallica's Enter Sandman, for the record, he began using as his walk-up song before Mariano Rivera. And as fate would have it, and so is often the case in baseball, one player's bad luck can lead to another player's fortune. That's a story Wagner knows very well. His career was as unlikely as it was dominating, taking him from a tough upbringing on the farms of Virginia to the major leagues and into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Let me see here. Was a 7-time All-Star. He finished his career with 422 saves in 16 seasons with the Astros, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox, and Braves. The 8th most all-time and 2nd most by a left-hander behind John Franco at 424 saves. Man, just 2 saves, 3 saves away from having the all-time rate. Oh, dude, that's. Wagner used an electric 100-mile-an-hour fastball to generate incredible power from his small frame, making him one of the most dominant pitchers in history. And then let me see here. CC Sabathia. You know what? All right, I'll let me get to his story, because even though dude's a fucking all right. Anyways, here we go. It's CC Sabathia. It's the Hall of Fame now. All right, whatever. Here we go. Let me see here. On the drive from New Jersey to Cooperstown, his wife's car broke down, delaying their arrival. I'm sorry.
That sucks.
That's
Oh,
dude.
Oh.
That's God smiling down, going, "That's what you get for playing in the pinstripes."
Right? That is absolutely karma coming after you.
Sabathia turned to social media to chronicle the trip, posting one update at the end of the weekend that captured his feelings best. Quote, woke up in the Hall of Fame. Still doesn't feel real, he wrote on X Monday morning. That feeling of disbelief, gratitude, and wonder echoed throughout the weekend. I keep needing to pinch myself, Wagner said. Let me see here. Both Wagner and Sabathia both admitted to feeling imposter syndrome while processing their place among the game's greats. Sabathia said it feels surreal. We had the Hall of Fame dinner last night after the ceremony, and every corner of the room you look in is one of my favorite players. I grew up a huge baseball fan, and to understand and being able to sit in that room now and call myself a Hall of Famer is just incredible. I mean, all that, you just think about that, right? If you get the opportunity to sit in that room for that dinner, everywhere that you look, right, in that room is a giant among men. You mean the best to ever play the game, sitting in that room.
And then realizing that children that are born now are going to be seeing him in that same light.
Yeah.
He is that person to the new generation.
He's that dude, right?
That's a lot to wrap your head around too.
It is. I like Ichiro's quote the best. He said, I'm a rookie again. He said, so thank you for welcoming into this amazing team. He said, but I'm 51 years old, so go easy on the hazing. I mean, Ichiro Suzuki, dude, this dude, I mean, say what you want about the way and the manner upon which he went and got those hits, right? I mean, if you look at a majority of his base hits, most of them are singles, right? And they're slap singles, and he just outran the coverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, dude, if you can do it, you do it. You got it, right? It's just, to me, that's just awesome. So I love Hall of Fame weekend. It really just, you look back on, some of the guys that you grew up watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to see them being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it's kind of an emotional thing. So, like for me, getting to watch people like King Griffey Jr. getting inducted, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm looking at shots of the crowd, and dude, so many Seattle Mariner fans, and not a single one of them, every single one of them actually are wearing a Griffey jersey, right? You got Cincinnati Reds Griffey jerseys, and a couple of Chicago White Sox jerseys that are scattered amongst the crowd or whatever. But to a T, I mean, you look at the way, just the grace that they handled everything, from Bob Uecker to, David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez. The Hall of Fame is just one of those bucket list places that I want to go. And it's one of those places that I'm going to have to go before it's all said and done. And even if I've got to throw all of my vacation days together at one point and just buy everybody a plane ticket, I'm going to haul all the boys, even the ones that are just too good for baseball, if there's ever such a thing. Colin knows exactly what I'm talking about. But and just walk through that place, right? And what I'm interested to see now that Man Clown, the commissioner of baseball, has saw so fit to do, after he died, I believe next year is going to be Pete Rose's first year of eligibility for the Hall of Fame. And I'm kind of wondering how they're going to handle that. Is it going to be handled by the sports writers, or is it going to go to the member vote, the legacy vote? Either way, if there's any justice in this world, Pete Rose should get in first ballot. So should Shoeless Joe Jackson. That's my 2 cents on it. There's some injury news out there. where did I see it here? The Tigers are looking for. They acquired some pitching over the weekend. They recently just acquired right-handed pitcher Dobnik, Randy Dobnik from the Twins for a catching prospect Enrique Jimenez. Paddock will be filling, Chris Paddock and Robbie Dobnik, both from the Twins. But Paddock will be filling an unforeseen void in the Tigers' rotation because Reese Olson, he's going to miss at least the rest of the regular season with a right shoulder strain. So the trade deadlines are coming up at a pretty opportune time. So, I mean, the Tigers are still one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. I mean, they're over 60 wins at this point. It's just like a few of the other teams, but the Tigers were the first to 60 this year. And so, generally speaking, historically, the team that hits 60 first at least makes it to the ALCS. So we'll see what happens with the Detroit Tigers this year. AJ Hinch, he's at the helm. He's been there for a couple of years, and he's finally got a team built around a few of the core stars that it's going to bring some of that veteran experience along with that the exuberance of youth kind of a thing to the locker room. So we'll see what happens there. But also for the Royals, let's see here. They're all-star. Let me see here. Would you quit? I love it when you get like the link and you go to click on it and it's jumping all over the place. Seth,
You're a little bit bigger than that.
right? Now Seth Lugo, who pitches for the Royals, he's finally brought some stability to their rotation. But Chris Bubic, he's gonna that's Bubic. He's gonna miss the remainder of the season as he recovers from left rotator cuff strain. So they announced that today. They placed him on the 15-day IL following his 2 2/3 inning start against the Guardians on Saturday night. He walked 4 consecutive batters to start the game and said afterward that physically something's not right. It's like, well, gee, you think? Come on, 4 consecutive walks, right? Yeah. I mean, one of the greater traditions in all of college baseball is if you go to like Texas A&M games, you go to Aggie games, at their home games, after a 4-pitch walk, right? If the pitcher throws a 5th consecutive ball, the whole crowd starts chanting ball 5, and then they go ball 6, ball 7, ball 8, right? And they start blowing bubbles from the stands out on the field, and it just rattles the hell out of some pitchers, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, it's some of the videos from that chant. It's pretty magical because I mean, like pitchers just completely melt the fuck down, and it's amazing to watch. But as we get closer to the end of the season, as we start trying to make our way through this trade deadline, which is, I believe, it's September 1st, we're going to have to start paying closer attention to the standings. We're also going to have to start paying attention to injury reports. We're going to have to start paying attention to run differentials as well as magic numbers. So magic numbers obviously is the number of games that a team has to win in order to clinch their division or clinch a postseason berth. But right now, as the regular season division standings are concerned, the Toronto Blue Jays hold first place in the American League East with a 5.5 game lead over New York. Boston is a game behind New York in third place. The Tampa Bay Rays have managed to lose 4 in a row, and they are back down to 500 with the Baltimore Orioles at 47 and 58. They're 15.5 games back.
Might be.
I wouldn't say that their season's completely over because mathematically they can bounce back, but it's going to take it's going to take a Leviathan-esque effort from Baltimore as well as a complete meltdown of 3 Mile Island proportions from the rest of the division for the Orioles to even sniff the postseason. The Central Division, which as everybody knows is the trashiest division of all of baseball. Do I know?
They might be a little bit upset because they just sold their franchise for like $1.7 billion. That's actually on the low end.
Yeah. Well, they're not moving. I saw.
No,
Let me just.
they're not
no, I know. I'm just putting that out there. The ownership group. I mean, they're committed to the Baltimore area. I mean, you're not moving from Baltimore. Just not gonna happen. I mean, and besides that, the owner committee, they would never approve that like at all.
You mean Tampa Bay, right?
I was talking about the Orioles, dude.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting here thinking you've got some kind of like breaking news.
About the
You know what, David? I've moved on from the AL East, so maybe shut your fucking mouth, dude. God. See, we lost a viewer because they're like, "Oh, these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about."
No, we lost like 3. You mean
No,
you need to be
I
counting.
got to count over.
We
here
had
anyway.
5 at one point in time.
Well, thank you for fucking that up. Jesus, it's like a wet dream, fucking screwing everything up. So the AL Central is the trashiest division in all of baseball. The Chicago White Sox, ladies and gentlemen, they've already won more games than they won last year, but they picked right up with that winning attitude. They're 38-68. They're playing 358 baseball. They are 23 games out of first place in their division, the only winning team. And by that, I mean a team north of 500 or better is the Detroit Tigers. As I mentioned earlier, they have 62 wins, 46 losses. That is a .574 winning percentage. I would say go ahead and let's print up the division champion hats for the division or for the Detroit Tigers.
No way anybody's catching them.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's an 8.5 game lead over the Guardians. And the Guardians, you know, I mean, unless they're getting walked 4 times in an inning, they're not going to win a game anytime soon. Just kind of putting that out there. AL West, on the other hand, it's a pretty tight race. You got the Houston Astros, obviously, they're at 60-46. That's good enough for a .566 average. The Mariners are 4 games back, and the Texas Rangers, who have they're not the hottest team in baseball, but they are damn close. They have won their last 6. They are 9-1 over the last 10 games. They're 4 games back as well, so they're tied for second place in the division. I mean, even the Angels, they're 4 games under 500, but they're only 9 games back. Now, do I expect the Angels to make some kind of a late surge? Absolutely not. The Athletics, who were formerly of Oakland, and they're not even good enough right now. They're like the redheaded stepchild, so to speak, of baseball. Nobody wants them. I mean, they don't have a name right now. They're just the Athletics, right? Which I think is hilarious. If you've seen any of the videos from people doing like tours of the MLB during the regular season, they stopped in Sacramento at a minor league ballpark facility where the A's are currently playing. And I mean, they're like, yeah, it's kind of a chill vibe. People are there more to socialize than they are actually watching the game. But I mean,
they did have the one player, Nick Kurtz.
David, there's an ebb and flow to these things here.
And you apparently be messing it up.
No, I am not, because I'm going over the standings currently. I'm not talking about an individual game that was played over the weekend. So maybe slow your roll. And 222 episodes into this thing, I would have hoped that you would have learned not to jump the shark. But
we have come to expect that from him. It's just not nerd sports without David jumping 7 steps ahead. It's part of the charm of the show.
It is.
We're still going to smack him around for it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry for yelling. Okay, so there we go.
But we're still going to smack him around for it. But it's part of the charm.
Yeah. So the National League. I'm waiting for David to jump in about some kind of National League story there. The New York Mets are leading the NL East division. So surprisingly, Juan Soto not making much of a dent in that team. I mean, we're hearing more about Pete Alonso than we are Juan Soto, which I think is great. So, awesome. Good for them. But the New York Mets, they're 7-3 over their last 10. They have won 7 games in a row. Currently, they're 62-44. They have a game and a half lead over the Philadelphia Phillies, who are at 60-45. So, I mean, that is a tight division race. I think before it all comes down to the end, I think the Phillies are going to overtake the Mets because they do play each other, I think, 2 or 3 more series between now and the end of the season. That's going to give the Philadelphia Phillies plenty of time to go ahead and put the death nail in the division crown hopes and dreams of the New York Mets. The other teams in that division, the Marlins, the Braves, the Nationals, the Braves have really lost their way since 22. I think it was when they won the World Series here in Houston. I did just really not the same. Ronald Acuna Jr. cannot stay healthy to save. I mean, he gets healthy, he plays for like stretches, and then he gets hurt at the most inopportune times. And I don't know. I don't know, man.
That last second loss against the Rangers really took it out of him too. You could see that hurt him.
Yeah, I mean, just some of those. I mean, they've lost their last 5. They're 2-8 over their last 10. And I'm just, I kind of feel bad for them because they're in Kansas City tonight. So I don't know. Maybe they'll figure something out. But
I mean, it could be worse. They could be the Rockies,
which I'm going to get to in just a second. The NL Central, we've got the Cubs.
We're lining up there.
Right, there's a tie atop the NL Central. Unlike the American League Central, the National League Central is actually a very competitive division. You've got the Cubs and the Brewers both at 62-43 for a .590 percentage. They're just going back and forth with each other. They're actually playing each other tonight. They are in Milwaukee. So the Cubs are 6-4 over their last 10 for a 2-game win. They're on the 2 games in a row. They've won. The Milwaukee Brewers, they're 7-3 over their last 10, having lost their last game. But like I said, they're playing right now in Milwaukee against the Cubs, so that is going to be a hotly contested divisional series this week, and that's definitely going to be one to watch. The Cincinnati Reds are at 56-50. They're 6.5 games back. So. Are they out of it? Not entirely. Do I expect any kind of huge major push from them? Maybe for the last wild card spot. It just kind of depends on how the injury bug treats them. The Pittsburgh, you've got St. Louis. They're 3.5 games. No, they're 2.5 games. I'm sorry. 2.5 games back from the Reds at 54-53. And the Pittsburgh Pirates in last place in that division at 44-62 with a 415 clip right there. They're 6-4 over their last 10 with 2 games in a row that they've won. I mean, they're trending, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's too little, too late. It's going to be another dreary, dismal winter in Pittsburgh because, it's not like the Steelers are going to give them any kind of respite. Which we'll get into during our NFL section of the show. I mean, Aaron Rodgers can make it a whole 6 games without hurting himself. Yeah, sure.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Hey, you know what? Like you said, stranger things have been known to happen.
I mean, that is true.
I just think it's funny that Aaron Rodgers, before, without jumping too far ahead, he's playing for the team that he beat in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Fuck it, I don't care. The Dodgers, they lost a series against the Red Sox over the weekend. They are 4-6 over their last 10, having lost their last 2 games. They're in Cincinnati tonight. They're atop the NL West at 61-45. The Padres are 4 games back at 57-49. And then the Giants are 3 games back behind from the Padres, and that would be 7 back from the Dodgers. They are at 54 and 52, so they're 2-8 over their last 10, having lost their last 3 games. Then you've got the Diamondbacks, who lost a pretty considerable bat over the weekend in a trade with Seattle. So they've lost some offensive power there. They're at 51 and 56 at 477 winning average. They are 4-6 over their last 10, having lost their last 3 as well. And then we've got the Colorado Rockies. And this is the how can I put this gently? This is the runner-up consolation bracket winner from the Little League World Series out here trying to play Major League Baseball. They're still talented enough to get to Williamsport. However, at 27 and 78, I think that it's safe to say that they have been mathematically eliminated from the postseason. So it's one of those types of seasons where there's always got to be one team that has to be comedic relief. And last year that was the Chicago White Sox. This year it's the Colorado Rockies. And I think the Colorado Rockies are going to be in for a very miserable stretch. I would say probably just to be on the safe side, I would say for at least the next 4 years, it's going to be pretty miserable baseball for the fans of Colorado out there. So, yeah, I mean, their defense is just atrocious. I mean, their only bright side right now, yes, they've lost their last 2 games, but they're 5-5 over their last 10. So, somebody is always having a bad day at some point. And it just goes to prove the old adage that anybody can win on any given day. So,
are they salvageable in any way, shape, or form? Obviously not this season.
No. But I think what needs to happen in Colorado is they need, yes, it's at some point when the losing is this bad. I won't even say when the winning is this scarce. It's just the losing is that bad. When the losing is that bad, like it is in Colorado, yes, at a certain point, it definitely falls on the shoulders of the manager. Because, even a Hall of Fame, let me see how I can phrase this. With a potential Hall of Fame manager, let's just say, hypothetically, were to be given that roster, they would probably be having their heads on the chopping block as well. But I think what the general manager needs to go first, honestly, because he's the one that's signing these guys and bringing them in. Yes, ultimately, the manager and the coaching staff, they're the ones that make the cuts in spring training, and it's like you knew that they probably saw the writing on the wall in camp during spring training, and they're probably looking at these guys going, "Fuck, are we doing? Or we're fielding a high A team." And it's bad. And I mean, nobody really wants to play in Colorado, like at all. Once they got rid of Trevor Story, once they got rid of what was his name? Nolan Arenado. Larry Walker, when he retired, there was nobody else. Like absolutely nobody else of that was noteworthy coming into or out of Colorado. Like nobody wants to play for this team because they are just that bad. Aside from their 1 year of success when they made it to the World Series in 2007, where they got swept by the Red Sox, Colorado is just a very, very bad experiment. I'm sure it's a nice ballpark, and it's one that I'm going to have to visit because it's just on that list of ballparks. But the Rockies are just lost. But I don't know. In more funnier news, this is on ESPN.com. Jeff Passan is on the byline. This actually came out today, 11:49 this morning. Philadelphia Phillies star Bryce Harper stood nose to nose with Rob Manfred during a meeting between the Major League Baseball commissioner and the team last week, telling him to get the fuck out of our clubhouse. Manfred wanted to talk about the potential implementation of a salary cap. Okay. I believe that baseball needs a salary cap. I know. bad. Boo. Boo this man, right? But the fact that Manfred brought it up and got told to get the fuck out of a clubhouse, I think is hilarious. But the confrontation came in a meeting. One of the 30 that Manfred conducts annually in an effort to improve his relations with every team's players. That lasted more than an hour.
That's ironic.
Manfred never explicitly said the word salary cap. Sources said the discussion about the game's economics raised the ire of Harper, one of MLB's most influential players and two-time National League MVP. Now, ahead of the expiration of the collective bargaining agreement between MLB and the Players Association, which is going to be December 1st of next year, multiple owners have stumped for a salary cap in baseball, the only major men's North American sport without one. Now, the Players Association vehemently opposes a cap. Well, duh, right?
Yeah.
Which it argues that it serves more as a tool to increase franchise values than to lessen the game's large disparity between high and low spending teams. Now, quiet for the majority of the meeting, Harper, sitting in a chair and holding a bat, eventually grew frustrated and said if MLB were to propose a cap and hold firm to it, players are not scared to lose 162 games. Like, oh my God. Sources from the meeting told ESPN. Now, Harper stood up, walked to the middle of the room, faced Manfred, and said, if you want to speak about that, you can get the fuck out of our clubhouse. Manfred, sources said, responded to that. He was not going to get the fuck out of here, saying it was important to talk about threats to MLB's business and ways to grow the game. Now, before the situation further intensified, veteran outfielder Nick Castellanos tried to diffuse this tension by saying, I have more questions. The meeting continued and Harper and Manfred eventually shook hands, sources said, though Harper declined to answer phone calls from Manfred the next day. I'm sorry. I could just see that too. Like they're staring each other down. Bryce Harper's holding a bat, right? If you've seen this guy's workout regimen and see the absolute piss missiles he hits, like, just for Nick Castellanos to sit there and go, I have more questions.
That's hilarious.
It says, quote, it was pretty intense, definitely passionate, Castellanos told ESPN. Both of them, the commissioner giving it back to Bryce and Bryce giving it back to the commissioner. That's Harp. He's been doing this since he was 15 years old. It's just another day. I wasn't surprised. Speaking before Philadelphia's game at the White Sox on Monday, Harper did not dispute the published descriptions of his confrontations with Manfred. Said, quote, I won't be getting into the details of what happened or how I felt or anything else like that. I don't think it does any good for anybody for that to happen. So for me, I just, trying to worry about baseball, trying to worry about everything in here. Manfred declined to comment on through a league spokesperson. He said, though he has not been outspoken on labor issues in previous years, the 32-year-old Harper, who is represented by agent Scott Boras, the cancer of the game, thank you, personified the union's perspective on the prospect of a capped system at the All-Star game in Atlanta earlier this month. Tony Clark, who is the executive director of the Players Association, calls the salary cap, quote, institutionalized collusion. And in a February interview with ESPN, he said, we always have been and continue to be ready to talk about ways to improve the industry. And we do a lot of things with the league to do exactly that. You don't need a salary cap to grow the industry. Yeah, but there has to be a way to get ticket prices under control.
Yeah.
Right? You give these guys close to $1 billion. Who's going to pay for that? The fans. And if fans can't afford to get in the seats because you're paying a guy close to $1 billion, whose fault is that? Right? I mean, something's got to give. And at some point, because we have these work stoppages that happens whenever the CBA comes up for debate, right? The Players Association and the owners, they can't see eye to eye on things, and so they lock the players out. And the people, the one demographic, the one group of people that suffer the most in that is the fans. And I think that if it gets to the point where a salary cap is going to need to be institutionalized or instituted or initiated rather, I think that the fans, if the players balk on it, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see the fans boycott the game for a while. I mean, really.
Yeah, you're going to see a major backlash on it.
Oh yeah, I think it's coming.
Keep seeing these huge $500-600 million contracts that keep going. I mean, they're getting out of hand.
They are. I mean, you're going to see. I mean, you're going to see like Bobby Bonilla Day. I mean, you're going to see the Dodgers celebrating Shohei Ohtani Day for years. So it just, I don't know, man. To me, it's dumb. And Scott Boras is that one agent. He doesn't give a fuck about the game. He really doesn't.
No.
His one thing is, how big of a contract can I get? Because he gets like 10% or some shit.
I'm gonna say I could honestly see it helping to take away their percentages. Not that take away necessarily, but put them where you get flat amount. You get this much. You're not getting a percentage of the contract anymore, because then there's no longer any major incentive for them to have those massive giant contracts.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at like with the NFL, with their salary cap,
right?
The Players Association fought that tooth and nail. And then when it finally got passed and they were like, this is just the reality that we live in now, it doesn't keep guys from chasing that money, right? It doesn't keep them from chasing those ends.
Right.
What it does though is it causes the owners and the general managers of those teams to go, look, we've got a cap that we have to operate under. We can offer you this much. If you can't take it or don't want it, fine. We're going to go look somewhere else and see if we can get something for more value. And I think that it creates more drama. I think it creates honestly, I think it creates a better product, right? Because you get these prima donnas that sit out there and they're like, well, I'm worth X amount of dollars. But you got a young up and comer, or even just a seasoned veteran that may be on the backside of his career that comes in and says, hey, look, my stat lines are this. I can pass your physical. I'd be willing to play for a third of what you're offering him. And if he balks, hey, I'm here. I want to play.
Exactly.
Right. And a lot of times you get those situations where you get like the veteran who's at the end of his career, who, signs a 1 or maybe a 2, maybe at most a 3-year deal. And you start making pushes to the playoffs. You start making those postseason appearances, and a lot of times you start seeing those equations work out where it produces a championship. And I think that the salary cap situation in baseball, it's coming. The players can fight it all they want, but the salary cap in baseball is coming. It's just a reality. It's inevitable. I mean, it's more inevitable than Thanos. I'm just telling you. So I think that the players need to sit down and look at the state of the game, because they're not the ones buying these tickets. They're not buying the tickets. I mean, if you want to talk about salary caps, bring in your fan base. Talk to Rasmussen, talk to Gallup. They'll conduct polls, right? They'll make phone calls out in the markets, right, for these teams. What do you think about the price of tickets these days? Well, I think it's shit. Why? Because these contracts are just dumb. Nobody's worth that much. And by signing these contracts, it's just A, B, and C, and they'll start to see the domino effect of their decisions, and then the owners are going to be like, look, we try to tell you. And I think that the players union, they're fighting a losing battle. They really are. I think at this point, it's not a battle of I think it's more pride than anything else. Like, they don't want to look like they're just giving up. At the very least, we're probably at the most 4 or 5 seasons away from seeing a salary cap become a thing. And it might take a federal mitigator to come in and say, hey, look, we're going to sit down at the table and this is the way it's going to be, and that's just going to become the new reality. And when those contracts start coming down because teams have to make a salary cap, and then you're going to start seeing ticket prices come down. You're going to start seeing people pack stadiums on levels that maybe rivaled the 80s and early 90s before the work stoppage.
Do you think it would lead to a full-on strike if they do that?
I mean, initially, yeah, but at that point, it's all about attrition, because if the players are striking, right, the owners are going to lock them out. And guess what? If the lockout extends into past the start of the regular season, past opening day, those players are not getting paid, because those contracts are based on per performance, right? Like per appearance in the game. They're not collecting per diem because they're not going out on the road. They're sitting at camp couch, Fort living room, I mean, they're playing. I mean, they're playing MLB The Show. That's what they're doing. They're hitting the gym, trying to stay in shape, hoping and praying that some of these guys, some of these second, third year players, they're going to be sitting there going, what the fuck? We need new leadership in the Players Association, because obviously you guys are so antiquated, but it's dumb.
And none of those guys are going to be having those $300 and $400 million contracts.
Oh, hell no. But I do think that salary cap is just an inevitability, and I don't know. I mean, it's good theater now to see Bryce Harper get up in the face of the commissioner, and obviously the commissioner gave as good as he got. We haven't heard about any kind of repercussions about player conduct or anything like that, which tells me that Rob Manfred has developed some calluses over the years from his berating from the fan base. But it's good to see him going toe to toe, at least verbally, with one of the higher profile stars in the game. So, I mean, that's a good deal. So, and like earlier when David was trying to allude to Nick Kurtz, when I was talking about division standings about 15, 20 minutes ago, back on the 25th, which was 3 days ago, the Athletics were in Houston. Now, he became the first rookie in Major League Baseball history to hit 4 home runs in a game. Friday night, he had himself a career. 22 years old. And it was basically one of the best offensive games, if not the best offensive game by an individual player in MLB history. He matched the MLB record with total of 19 bases, right? So that's bases touched, with ball in play, safe, right? Having acquired, accumulated that many. So he, this happened in a game where the A's beat the Astros 15-3 in Daikin Park. So, let me see here. He didn't make an out all night. He went 6 for 6. He went yard in the second, sixth, eighth, and ninth innings. He also doubled, which a 381-foot drive that would have been out in 6 major league ballparks. So, just by the dimensions of Daikin Park alone, kept him from having a 5 home run game. And he singled on his 6 for 6 night. He equaled Sean Green, who had 4 homers, 6 hits, and 19 bases for the Los Angeles Dodgers back on May 23rd of 2002 in Milwaukee. Now, Kurtz and Greens are the only players with 6 hits in a 4-homer game. He said, quote, "It's hard to think about this day being kind of real. It still feels like a dream." He said, "So it's pretty remarkable. I'm kind of speechless. Don't really know what to say." It was the 20th 4-homer game in Major League history and the second this season. The first one to do it this year was Arizona's Eugenio Suarez. He did it on April 26th against Atlanta. No player has ever hit 5 home runs in a game. I have.
I was going to say I have.
MLB The Show, baby. Come on now. Although the 6 for 6, a 6 home run game, dude, for whatever reason, I just get when you're standing there in the batter's box and you know that fastball's coming, right? So I just get out in front of it because I'm like, and I push the button through the back of the controller. Yeah, I just kind of I either get a double or just kind of a lazy fly ball, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. Like, damn it. But he finished with 8 RBIs and 6 runs scored. So I mean, just to think to say that he was the youngest player with a 4-homer game. Pat Searcy of the Chicago White Sox was 25 when he homered 4 times back in 1948. Right, this dude's a rookie, a rookie, and he's out there doing that. Now, is this going to be something that we're going to see consistently? Absolutely not. Because why? Well, I think the Angels in the outfield remembered who it was that they were helping, and they were like, "Oh shit, that's the A's." And then on top of that, more realistically, Major League Pitching is going to make adjustments. And, his hitting coach was probably like, look, dude, I know that you're seeing it as big as a beach ball tonight. Don't get used to it. And, that's why this game is so perfect, because it's got ebbs and flows, and, it's a game based around failure. But Ted Williams said it, you can fail 7 out of 10 times and still make the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So, but let me see here. I think that's it for baseball news, really.
Just one last thing hit the thing. Ryan Sandberg died.
Hold on.
It just hit like while you were talking.
Hold on here.
It's on a Chicago Cubs.
Yep. Let me see here. I'm finding. All right, yeah, here, let me pull up their Twitter account. Okay, this is from the Chicago Cubs, at Cubs on their X account. With great sadness, we share that Ryan Sandberg has passed away today. He had been having some health problems. The last report was that he was doing okay.
Yeah. Like,
even the Chicago White Sox, the crosstown rival, they tweeted out, we're so sorry for your loss. Let me see here. The Twins, we joined the entire baseball community in mourning the loss of Ryan Sandberg. Our thoughts are with the Sandberg family and Cubs fans everywhere. Let me see here. What other teams have commented so far? As the news continues to spread, I know that we're going to see more and more social media accounts going off on this. So,
yeah, it just happened like probably around about 15 minutes ago.
Man, that sucks. I loved watching him play. Let me see here. He was 65. So he was young.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty.
So over his
65 nowadays is actually really young,
dude. So over his career, he totaled 2,386 hits. He hit 282 home runs for a career batting average of 285. He scored 1,318 runs. He batted in 1,061 runs, and he stole 344 bases over his career. He played second and third base. He hit and threw both right-handed. Let me see here. On-base percentage was 344. Slugging percentage, 452. His OPS was 795. The dude was a stud, right? And he played for some pretty bad teams, but over his entire career, he played mostly for Chicago. He made his debut in 81 with the Philadelphia Phillies. He stayed in the National League his entire career. He went to the Cubs his second year in the bigs in 1982. He didn't play in 95 because of injury, but 96 picked right up. Let me see here. He won Rookie of the Year in 1982 with the Cubs. Let me see here. Let me make sure that stat's correct. Oh no, he was finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting. And then, come on, this is all coming from Baseball Reference. Let's see here. Come on, reload the page. Damn it, I hate this sometimes. Okay, and he finished first in the MVP voting for the National League in what was it, 84? Let me see here. That was his only MVP, but he was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-time All-Star. He won Gold Gloves in 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. Let me see here. He also got Silver Slugger awards in 84, 85, 88, 89, 90, 91, and 1992. So yeah, just, man, I tell you, and he finished respectably well, top 20 in the MVP voting, almost, let's see, including the year he won it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I mean, just the guy was, I mean, obviously he commanded respect on the diamond. So 65 years old, man. That's crazy. Good Lord. Okay. Yeah, so 65 years old. Good night. Okay. Yeah, they haven't even updated baseballreference.com yet to reflect the death.
It was Wikipedia.
Yeah, see, the thing about the Wikipedia page is that those, I don't really look at those stats as being accurate because that's community monitor, right? Well, whereas Baseball Reference is basically kind of your encyclopedia. Those are updated by the teams and by statisticians that work for Major League Baseball in the head office. So that and Baseball Savant are the definitive go-tos for stat information. And yeah, so, but Ryan Sandberg dead at 65, man. So not that it matters much, but we here at Angry Me extend our thoughts and prayers to the Cubs, the Sandberg family, and obviously fans everywhere. The world of baseball is a much dimmer place without people like Ryan Sandberg in it. But any other breaking news that we need to know about before we finally move on to football?
Do you want to cover that 17-year-old kid?
No, not really. Here's the thing. Unless a prospect or a potential prospect throws a perfect game or something like that, I don't want to go over that. No, we won't go over that this week. So,
okay.
But football news, and we spent almost a full hour on baseball. That's what I'm talking about, bud. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me see here. I'm talking about football on Twitter and TikTok, and I'm seeing all these training camp videos. Aaron Rodgers' first pass in training camp was a pick six. So was Dak Prescott's. Oh my God. I mean, they were like, yeah, Dak Prescott's first pass in training camp was a pick six. And I was like, ooh. And then the NFL's Twitter account, or not Twitter account, their TikTok page, or was it ESPN's? I can't remember. I think it was ESPN's. Cowboys doing cowboy things. Showed the Cowboys players galloping around on broomsticks.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, you want to scratch your head. I don't even want to know what the context was because the jokes write themselves at that point.
And it's like, I mean, yeah, you need some time to blow off steam, yeah, whatever. You think you would have more important things to have to focus on and make sure, like you need to look at where your team is at and realize that at some point it's time to get serious.
Yeah. I don't know, we're not sponsored, but dudes, the Zero Sugar Monsters. Oh, dude, I love them. Ultra Paradise tastes like a Jolly Rancher, dude.
Oh, there is a little bit of baseball news that's happening on TikTok. I mean, they even made a shirt for it.
Now that
Apparently,
we're talking about football, but go ahead.
no, I've been seeing this constantly. Apparently, some guy was fingering his girlfriend in the Phillies game. They actually made a shirt about it. Instead of the F, they did a PH.
So not really baseball news.
No.
Somebody's lame attempt at selling merch,
I guess so.
knowing that shirt's probably going to get yanked from every online store because
Hey,
somebody's going to sue for likeness.
Chinese doesn't care. I mean, look at, they stole the unsubscribe charity shirt and tried to sell that on.
I just still, I don't know, man. Anyways, so yeah, this is like really the last weekend that we're gonna have without football being played somewhere, whether it be college or the pros. Training camps are fixing to break, and preseason games are about to start kicking off everywhere. Oh boy, let me see here.
Who's playing the Gaelic game this weekend?
Well, I know Thursday, this coming Thursday, the 31st, on NBC at 7 o'clock Central. The Chargers are at Detroit. So there's that game. That's going to be on Prime, which is the Thursday night football game. So, but yeah, that's the Hall of Fame game. Let me look here.
Oh, it's North Carolina and TCU.
All right, so you're talking about college.
Uh-huh.
Okay, see, that's where the context was because I'm talking about the pros. But okay, cool.
Well, it was the first actual football game.
Okay. The first preseason game is going to be on the 7th of next month. That is going to be on the NFL Network. That's the Colts at the Ravens. Then we've got the Bengals at the Eagles, Raiders at the Seahawks. I think this year for our picks, last year was just an absolute clusterfuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did great.
Not only did we have terrible records, I mean, I did have that perfect week.
Just the one.
So just the one.
Yeah.
I think you were the
we need to do a better job of keeping up with our wins, losses, and everything like that. So
well, we had some craziness that happened last year. So
we did.
I was at the front of that craziness.
Well, not so much. That's not what we were talking about. We were talking about going from a group of from a group of 5 to a group of 4. So that kind of threw the stats off a little bit.
You're right. I'm gonna shut up then.
He's like, oh yeah.
He's like, I was at the front of that. Like,
Yeah.
in a way, yeah.
You did your part.
Yeah. I mean, so for those of you who are kind of scratching
Wrong
your
chaos.
heads going, right? So for those of you scratching your heads and keeping score at home, we parted ways rather unceremoniously with a former personality on our channel. We'll just leave it at that because we're not going to use names or likenesses. Well, I wouldn't even give Voldemort the disservice of being associated with that description. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to kind of leave it at, he was asked to leave for reasons that were unbecoming. How about that? So, yeah.
Conduct.
Moving on.
Dude, I misinterpreted that like entirely. I thought we were talking about like how the winning and losing last year made no sense. It's straight through my mind.
It's okay. We understand that words are new to you, so it's all right.
Yo.
And this is David saying that.
Yeah, no. I mean, but
May the gods frown upon your shriveled penis.
yeah,
Oh my god.
Kratos coming in from left field.
You're being, oh,
Hmm.
Good night. Okay. Anyway, so I think with this year we're gonna do a better job of making sure that we're keeping track of wins and losses, and I don't know. We you know what we should do is we should chip in at the beginning of the year and have like a cheap little trophy made.
I don't know. I think we should do the same thing we did last year. The loser picks.
Well,
the,
no. I get it. No, we're gonna do that,
Okay.
but the winner gets a trophy.
Right.
Oh,
The
that's easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
yeah, the winner.
What we could do is we go in, we just buy one of those cheap trophies, and we duct tape winner on the front, and we send it to whoever wins.
Oh man, no, we gotta put a little pride in this because it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to put in the mail. No, listen. This is gonna be something that's gonna be packaged at the beginning or at the end of every year. If the winner, you know, if with every new winner, the previous winner's got to mail the trophy out to the new recipient.
Right.
Okay.
So, you know, this is something we're gonna have to we're gonna have to invest a little bit into. So, you know,
It's got to stand up to the U.S. mail.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna have, we're gonna have it engraved with its nice little placard. We'll debate back and forth as to what that placard will actually say. And you know what? We might even go out to places like Etsy or, you know, the interwebs for something highly inappropriate for the topper on the trophy.
Yeah. It's not even a question.
I mean, it could be like a dog taking a dump. We can get that 3D printed easy.
The golden turd.
Right. The golden turd. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
There we go.
Yes. Okay. So let it be known that on this day, July 28th, in the year of our Lord 2025, we are dubbing the winner of the NFL pick challenge. They will be bestowed upon them the golden turd trophy. Okay, so we're gonna have to source a 3D printer and have a dog taking a crap printed, and then we're gonna have to have it gold plated.
I work with a guy that has a printer.
Well, there you go. Okay, so here's what we're gonna have to do. All right, so we're gonna have to find a generic base for a trophy. You know, because I mean they screw those in right from the bottom.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make sure that the threads count, you know, that the threads match up and everything, so that the way this thing screws on. But we're gonna have to have it electroplated. So we're gonna spend a little bit of money to make this trophy, but it's gonna be nice.
I can I could talk to him tomorrow and see if he would be able to
Either that or the dog taking a dump on a base that is 3D printed all in one piece or in several pieces, right? And we just get that electroplated, but we can have him, instead of paying an engraver to do a placard, we can just put golden turd winner on the Angry Me golden turd winner, right?
We'll have to come up with a design and I'll see if he can.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, because he'll have to put it into a splicer program and go from there. Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. Look at, see, shit's happening live. Everybody, absolutely, this is awesome. So,
a little behind the scenes, right in front of your eyes.
right? You normally have to pay for this.
That's right.
Let me see here. Colts left tackle Bernard Rahman. Rahman. I cannot pronounce that word. Agreed to terms on a 4-year, $100 million extension today. Yeah. So this was actually dropped. This is Eastern time, so probably about a little over 23 minutes ago. So that happened. His annual salary of $25 million per year over the length of his new deal puts him in the tie with the Commanders' Laramie Tunsil for the 4th highest paid left tackle in the league. So, hey, go out there and earn it. I can't complain about NFL contracts because why? They've got a salary cap. So yeah. Let me see here. Oh my god.
Well, that was quite easy. Hold on, real quick.
Oh, Dave, what are you doing? No, I'm talking about a dog actually taking a dump as being part of the trophy.
There's one was like it's a
No. We're talking like a golden retriever, you know, like the dog that's on the calendar taking a crap in beautiful places. Just worry about it later, David. Okay. Cowboys left tackle Tyler Guyton expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a bone fracture.
wow.
The preseason hasn't even started, and the Cowboys are already eliminated from the postseason.
Dude, every team has lost.
Sorry,
like,
I know.
years.
It will not require surgery and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. That's coming via Ian Rappaport from NFL Network. Initially, it was feared that he torn his ACL, but further testing revealed otherwise. He had sizable improvement was expected in year 2, which is this is his second year. Asim Richards could be next in line to fill in, or potentially a 6th-round rookie, Amanji Cornelius. I think that's how you say his name. Cowboys could also reshuffle things. Pro Bowl left guard Tyler Smith could be moved out as he started his rookie campaign at left tackle. However, Smith's perceived backup, Robert Jones, told reporters on Monday that he would likely miss multiple months with a broken bone in his neck. Man, they are just all kinds of fucked up, dude. That's crazy. Let me see here. Where else? Oh my God. Okay. All right. This is funny. There's a sound clip that goes with this. I can't find it right now, but yeah, you guys are going to know exactly what soundbite I'm talking about here in just a second. Let's come on. Freaking let's go. Here, there we go. Veteran returner Cordell Patterson says the Steelers released him on his day off.
Funny.
Oh
my God. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right, Chris? Like, how you gonna get fired on your day off, man?
exactly.
I know you wasn't stealing no boxes.
Oh God.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. He will have to search for that. We'll have to search for that 10th kick return touchdown somewhere other than Pittsburgh. The Steelers released the returner / running back / receiver on Monday. Cordell Patterson's own Twitter account. He released it, like he announced it. Breaking news. This was at 10:42 a.m. He goes, breaking news. Pittsburgh Steelers release old washed up Cordell Patterson on his day off. He spent 2024 with the Steelers, rushing 32 times for 135 yards and catching 12 passes for 80 yards and a score in 13 games played. He also returned 11 kicks. The former Viking, Raider, Patriot, Bear, Falcon, and Steeler owns the kick return touchdown record with 9 in his 12-year career. However, he hasn't housed a kickoff since 2022 and has just one, let's see here, kickoff return touchdown in the past 4 seasons. Steelers signed running back Kenneth Gainwell this offseason and drafted defensive back Dante Kent in the 7th round. Both could be kick return options to replace Patterson. I mean, they was clowning you at work, man. I mean, that sure looked like the back of your head. Oh, Okay. Colin, are you ready for your segment, son?
Yeah. I didn't know if you were gonna forget it or not. 'Cause it's been
No,
so
no,
late
no, no,
into
no,
the
no,
show.
no, no, nope,
Never.
nope, never, ever.
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Spartan. He is bent on wronging that which has been set right. It's the greatest genetic code ever to exist here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. Spartan Colin, I hope you're bringing the smoke tonight. Someone get me a joke.
What is a lesbian romance movie called? Chick Lick.
Oh.
And HD is not the correct answer when asked how you like to watch them.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to say it out loud.
I do it all the time. Of course.
Well, that's just because you don't have 4K.
Yeah.
8K now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, you peasants, it's 8K.
Which Disney character would a lesbian be?
Oh, God.
Licky Mouse.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. What else you got?
That's it.
That's it. All right. So Colin's younger brother today. I had him riding in the car with me. Him and his younger brother, we were out running errands today. He's like, "You want to hear a joke?" And before I had a chance to say, "Sure," he goes, "You want to hear a joke? Okay." And then he tells the joke. All right. So the joke was, what's a downside to being a gay cop? He says you can't shoot straight. Right. So I was like, that's actually really good.
That is.
So I texted one of my children for obvious reasons. You guys, I'm sure, know which one because the joke related, because, career fields.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And his reply is that, and they love a long, hard shift.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, I appreciate the way that escalated. All right. Okay, so just like that.
Slipping out through the fog of war, this Spartan continues the fight. Your souls have become collateral damage in the battle against the flood of moral supremacy. Leave your expectations at the door and marvel before the pillar of tactical prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
Okay. NASCAR. We're going to try to wrap this up pretty quick because I know that we're getting on in time here. Historic happening. Now I'm not talking about the Sunday's race. Don't get me started. Saturday at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s race team that he co-owns with his sister, JR Motorsports, got their 100th victory at Indianapolis on Saturday. What's even cooler about it is that basically rookie sensation Connor Zilisch was the one that did it. That is his 4th victory this year. 4th victory this year. I'm like, damn. Sunday, to say that I was highly disappointed in Kyle Larson finishing second is an understatement. And I can attribute it to one corner that he missed on the second overtime restart, right? I'm going to have to say this, and I'm going to have to go like wash my mouth out and read my Bible afterwards. Bubba Wallace won the Brickyard 400 yesterday. God, that hurts.
Despite the best effort of that one
twister
fan in the stands. Which we don't necessarily condone or endorse. I'm just saying I get it.
I mean, once they waved the white flag on that final lap of the final restart, I was sure that Bubba Wallace was going to be triggered and he was going to forget how to hit the corner. But man,
they did the noise, so
I just, okay. So congratulations to you.
Right? You know what I'm talking about. You didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a fan in the stand that threw a beer bottle at Bubba Wallace's car when he was coming through to win.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, better luck next time, dude. Come on.
I said, we neither,
the guy's driving at 200 miles an hour coming down that front stretch. You got to lead the car a little bit.
I'm just saying, throw straighter.
Well, you just throw out, like a timing pattern. Just
yeah. You got a lot of lead time there.
I mean, look, Uncle Rico. I mean, yeah, I get it. You can throw that football over those mountains over there, but this was your chance to win state.
That was so close.
Can you imagine though if he'd have made contact with the car, like it would have hit the windshield and just, causing Bubba to hit the wall, and then Kyle Larson kind of comes around, takes the win. Yeah, that's shit. But like NASCAR by rule isn't going to be like, well, we're going to award him the win anyway because the timing loops scored Kyle Larson the winner. Not that we're advocating violence against NASCAR drivers. Do not go there, okay, at all. If you hear this, see this, watch it, whatever, on playback, we're not advocating violence against drivers on the track. I think it's a lowbrow, low-class move, and this is all in fun. Okay,
maybe just against their cars.
See, all right. So when Jeff Gordon passed Dale Earnhardt Sr. for wins on the all-time list, and fans were throwing beer cans onto the track at Jeff Gordon's car, dude. I mean, I was probably one of the I'm unabashedly one of the biggest Earnhardt fans out there, right? And to me, I'm like, dude, that's it doesn't make our sport look good at all. It doesn't. It's low class, right? It's like had the noose incident actually been a noose instead of just the traditional garage pull down like everybody else had, right. I would have been on that side of the fence too. I'd have been like, hey, look, that's not something that's welcome here.
Do better.
Yeah, do better. But it's I don't know, man. It just the violence against drivers, period. Whether driver on driver violence when they get into like fights after the race, fine, sure, whatever. I'm all for that because it's great, right? It's entertaining. Let the dudes just swing a couple of times before you decide to try to break them up, right? And then just take them to the NASCAR. Take them to the NASCAR trailer afterwards.
Once they go down, then you break it up.
Yeah, break it up like a hockey fight, right? When one guy goes down, then it's over. But I begrudgingly stood there and waited for his post-race interview because I wanted to see him say something stupid, right? And then, of course, obviously his car passed post-race inspection. I was like, let him fail. Please let him fail that post-race inspection. Because, it still would have given him the win for the race, but it wouldn't have counted towards the playoffs, which would have been funny. But he said, I was waiting for the reporter to kind of bait the question, right? Just served up a softball for him. He was like, "What do you say to your detractors?" And he goes, "I'm waiting to see how far the goalposts have been moved." I'm like, you know what? Surprisingly, I'm okay with that response. Right? Any other driver that would have said that, we'd have been like, "Yeah, go ahead and just like kind of rub it in the face of the haters." Just because we don't try to, we try not to apply a double standard here on this show. Hey, good on Bubba Wallace for handling the post-race interview that way. Good. All right, fine. He kind of handled that as about as classy as you could probably expect. Only bad thing is that, now he's in the playoffs. He's locked into the playoffs. And so I'm like, okay, well, shit. Right now, Chase Elliott is the regular season points leader right now. He's he's in first place. William Byron's in second. Kyle Larson third. The top three in the points are all Hendrick drivers. To me, that is a beautiful thing. And that's all about consistency. It's not necessarily the number of wins that they have tallied, right? Because, both William Byron and Chase Elliott have a win apiece. And then there's Kyle Larson with 3. Denny Hamlin, he's got 4 wins, and he's in 4th place right now. Christopher Bell moved up 1 place to 5th. Tyler Reddick moved down to 6th. Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher round out your top 10. Bubba Wallace, with his win yesterday, jumped up 2 places in the regular season standings to 11th. Now, as far as the playoff picture is concerned, obviously Denny Hamlin's leading the way with 4 wins. Then Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Shane Van Gisbergen, because he's got the 3 wins. He's in 4th. Chase Elliott 5th. William Byron 6th. Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Bubba Wallace is in 9th. Joey Logano round out your top 10. And then you've got Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, and Josh Berry with 11, 12, and 13th, respectively. Those are the last drivers with a single win this year. You've got Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, and Chris Buescher, 14th, 15th, and 16th. None of them have a win. Tyler Reddick is 138 points above the cut line. Alex Bowman is 63 to the good, with Chris Buescher bringing up the 16th spot, 42 points above the cut line. Ryan Preece is 42 points below. Kyle Busch, I think he made up a little bit of ground, not very many points. I think he scored a couple of points over the course of the day. He is 81 points below the line in 18th. Ty Gibbs, who won the in-season challenge yesterday, taking home $1 million. So good for him. Is in 19th with 95 points below the cut line. Brett Keselowski, the pit strategy bug bit him in the ass yesterday again. He was actually in position to win, and they were trying to stretch the fuel mileage, and the caution came out just too late, and he had to make a green flag cycle pit stop. He is struggling. He's not having a good points season. Let's just kind of put it that way. So it's still up in the air. I think we're looking at probably 1 or 2 more first-time winners. Not to the series, but two more different winners. Let's put it that way between now and the end of the regular season. I think with Alex Bowman yesterday, he finished pretty strong in that race yesterday. He was competitive. He was up toward the front. I don't remember him leading yesterday, but he was pretty competitive yesterday. His car showed a lot of speed, and I think they're going to take that momentum coming out of Indianapolis going forward. In the Xfinity side, though, you've got Connor Zillage, right? He's qualified for the playoffs there. He's leading the playoff standings right now with 4 wins. And then Justin Allgaier, who are both 1 and 2, are both junior motorsports drivers. They're in first and second place for the playoff standings. Let me see here. The next race is going to be in Iowa. Yeah, it's going to be the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. It's at Iowa Speedway, Newton, Iowa. It's 350 laps for 306.25 miles. That race will be on USA. It'll also be on the MRN Motor Racing Network, Sirius XM channel, NASCAR channel 90, and your in-car driver audio and video is going to be on HBO Max. That race will be this coming Sunday, August 3rd. That's going to be a 2:30 Central Time start for the coverage. Iowa's a cool little track. It's still a traditional oval, but at the same time, it's one of those. It's a shorter. I think it's like a mile, not necessarily a mile. It's like a half mile or a 3/4 mile track, but it's a cool little track to watch, and it's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun race. So, my producer off camera is giving me the wrap it up signal, so we're going to go ahead and land this plane tonight, guys.
One last thing before we go.
One last thing before we go. Go ahead.
A WNBA game was halted due to the fact that one of the players had lost their wig.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot all about that. Yeah, go ahead.
This is
It bounced around a lot.
This is so funny. You can see it right here on the sidelines. There's a couple of other angles that you can look at. It basically one of the we'll just say I can't even describe the
Kalia Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah. It was totally accidental too, but that wig just
No. Why are you even wearing a wig while you're freaking playing? It's an embarrassment. What the hell are we even doing here? And we're supposed to take them seriously? Pay us what you owe us.
Pay us what you owe us, right?
Seriously?
Girl, you need to be paying that hairdresser what you owe her, so that way she could have gorilla glued that thing to your head a little tighter.
You can't even take yourself seriously. How are we supposed to take the game seriously?
You know how many horses had to die so that way your wig could fall off on that court, girl?
How many squirrels must die so you can look fly? Like, come on, man. Thank you, Dave Chappelle.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh, with that being said, that is a good segue. You want to talk about squirrels? Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
There was once a pirate, wonderful pirate. He was a terror on the high seas and a demon in the sheets. A credit to lesbians everywhere, really, a great lesbian pirate. Her name was Bearded Clam. She really was wonderful. Anyway, as she used to say, as she plundered both booty and pussy, scissor me timbers.
Arr. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nerd Sports episode 222. Deuces Wild. It has been probably our most content-rich episode in the last 100 or so. You're welcome. I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman.
I am Chris Mountain Man Jacko.
I'm Colin Skelton.
You have become privy. You've become indentured. Your lives may not be better for it, but by God, you're going to feel like you've been used, abused, and put away hard and wet. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Squirt.